Yeah, unmute me. Hey, unmute me. Unmute me. Hey, unmute me. We got the word on the street. Unmute me. The latest gossip and the tea. Unmute me. Don't turn me off, let me speak. Unmute me. You'll tune in every week. Unmute me. We got the word on the street. Unmute me. The latest gossip and the tea. Unmute me. Don't turn me down, let me speak. Unmute me. So tune in every week. Unmute me. Unmute me.
All right, what's going on, gang? Welcome to the Unmute Me podcast. All right, always good times, always good vibes, and a whole lot of fun. Anyway, let's get this thing started. Miss Portia Smith.
Hey guys, how y'all doing tonight? I'm glad to see y'all. It's been a minute. We finally back with it.
Right.
So we jumping right into these topics. So we kind of touched on last week. We wanted to talk about like starting from the dating process, going into relationships, and talking about the mental health aspects of relationships. So today I wanted to talk about dating and talking, like dating versus talking. What's the difference? What do y'all think? In the talking stage or dating, is that the same thing? What you think?
I mean,
2024.
I'm scared, bro. I don't like. I'm scared of titles. You know what I'm saying? Because with titles come ownership. Like when you pay your car, what you get?
A title.
You know what I'm saying? That means you own that car. You know what I'm saying? I don't like that. And I mean, not just being vague. We know if we talking or if we dating. I mean, but to me, if we dating, we talking. But if we get past the dating talking phase, we in a relationship. See what I'm saying?
So dating and talking to you is the same thing.
Same thing. Yeah.
Okay. So what do you think, Miss Tiffany?
Look, I didn't know there was a difference. I don't know. For me, it is kind of the same, but to me, if someone just talking to me, I look at it as someone that just like to just text and say what you doing, there's really not much dialogue. So, there's a lot of time lapse or whatnot. So I just say, okay, that's talking. But if I'm dating, I think that's more intentional. Your intention is to, I don't know if it's a relationship, a situation, or whatever type of ship it is, because I know there's different names out there. But I just think to me, dating is much more intentional than just talking. It's kind of like talking like, okay, well, I'm just going to just test to see, are you going to respond to me? Or, just whenever I feel like reaching out to you.
Yeah, I kind of feel the same way. I feel like when I'm dating someone, it's leading more into we thinking about getting into a relationship. Like that's where our intentions are. But when I'm just talking to you, it's kind of casual. I don't know. What do you think?
Oh, okay. Because I'm old, I ain't worried about that talking. I'm gonna say, how do we define talking between me and that person and dating? Because to me, talking, that ain't nothing. What is that? I'm grown. I'm dating you. If we hanging out, kicking and texting, doing that stuff, like, yeah, let's go ahead. If I'm already interested, if you're interested in me, we go ahead and make it and date. What we talking about at this age? At my grown age, what am I talking to you for? That means I ain't really interested in you. I'm out here at the buffet trying to decide if we just talking. Nah. But if I say me and you, and how deep are we in this thing? Are we smashing? Or what we doing?
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Hey. Sometimes smashing the talking phase.
No.
Now that's a whole different phase to me.
Yeah, see, I done, even I done got away from that. Yeah, I used to didn't care. I ain't used to didn't care, but I done got away from that because that shit be coming with attachments and entitlement. Because one of my homegirls said, she say, bro, you got to stop giving all the girls your best wood. It's the only one I got though.
Yeah.
What else I'm supposed to? I ain't got but one. What else I'm supposed to do?
Tone it down some.
You give them the entire platter before.
Right. They're gonna be mediocre. Can't give them.
No,
because
because they gonna talk about you or they gonna talk about you. I'd rather be talking about it.
What do you think, Doc?
Man, I mean, I agree with dating and talking, man. It's almost right there the same, but talking is like probably just talking on the phone. Probably not dating. You know, you're not going anywhere like that, but then it's also like you said right there. It's right down the line where you just be talking and probably just smashing. That's it. I'm not trying to date to see if we go anywhere. If I start dating you, I'm trying to see where we're going for the long haul. You know what I'm saying? How long, maybe if I'm thinking about marriage in the future, it's all that depend on what that person's talking about. To me, that's dating. Talking is just, hey, I see you when I see you. You want to link up tonight, go on back home. You ain't spend the night.
Gotta be gone for the sun.
Gotta be gone. To the house.
Don't let the sun beat you.
Somebody got
I can't bring my spend the night back.
Can't bring it back.
I mean, it's
Don't
certain.
even bring a toothbrush. No.
It's certain exceptions, but you know what I mean.
What y'all say? Keep it in the back seat. Y'all keep the little bag in the back seat.
Yeah, we gotta have a report.
Gotta be gone before 12. Check out time 10 o'clock. 10:30.
You already know people gonna start sneaking their toothbrush and in your drawer, put a little bag, just
I see it. Like, hey, you left something. Oh, you
That's
don't
not-
need this anymore.
That's not demure.
I hate that word.
I don't even know what that shit's supposed to mean.
Well, I want to come back to you because you were saying that in your opinion, you think that dating and talking is pretty much the same thing. So do you think like when you're talking to somebody or dating somebody, do you think that kind of blur the lines with them, make them confused? Like, what is we doing? Like, do you get that a lot from women? Like,
Yeah.
at the point.
Yeah. No, it ain't even after the point. It'd be at the beginning. What we doing? I don't know. It's fun. We having fun. Let's have fun. Come on. You got but one life. I don't know. I say this though. Like if we talking, like everybody said, we just on the phone. Hey, how you doing? What you doing? How you feeling? All that old type stuff. And if we going on dates and actually going out, we're talking about what we want out of life and all that type stuff. We kind of date. We coding. What the old folks say, we coding that.
Mm-hmm.
But then yeah, we coding. We doing all because we really showing that we interested.
Right.
But at some point they get smackdown time, and that's when they be like, "Oh, we go together." I like, dang. I did it again.
Your best work. You gave your best work.
I done done it again.
Right.
Yeah, man. I don't know. Go ahead.
I think like with that, you may have to just separate that because when you have sex with them or whatnot, then our feelings get attached. We're gonna start thinking about the future. We might start thinking about what our kids may look like.
Yeah, I want to have his baby.
What type of house?
So why we gotta separate that? That sounds like something y'all need to separate because if our feelings ain't involved, so why y'all feelings involved? Why y'all start thinking about all that? Because we done gave y'all the best.
Yeah. Women more driven on feelings.
Oh, I know, but still, if y'all already know what you walked into, you already knew the situation. Usually, you came to talk.
But you know what? I come into a situation now. I've learned. I tell guys, I am not a man. I'm a woman. If we're dating for a while and we start sleeping together and it's good and we sleeping together consistently, I'm gonna start catching feelings.
Supposed to.
We better
go talking though.
Yeah,
you talking though.
I
You
agree.
came in talking. You ain't come in dating. You came in getting
But
smashed.
still, I'm just saying, I'm just being real. If I'm sleeping with you, my feelings are gonna start developing at some point because it's that attachment.
You can be laying down. What you gonna be sleeping with?
But see, you men already we have those type of feelings. Y'all know we get attached. We get attached. Shoot.
But why do y'all think like? Why is that an issue for guys though? Why can't guys understand that as women we do get attached to that? Like you're entering in us, and we're just like we're emotional. So I cannot be a man while I'm with you. I'm sorry, I'm just a woman.
I don't think we ever say that we don't say that y'all don't get emotional. We say that.
Yeah.
But I've heard guys say that they don't like doing it with women, like sometimes having sex with them so early, because then they get that idea that, okay, now we finna go ahead and what are we? We're trying to determine we're in a relationship, and all I want to do was hit it. So
Because, I'm gonna tell you,
okay,
because the woman, sometimes the woman be wanting to smash first, and he be like, if I do this,
Right.
I'm not feeling the way you feel, but if I go ahead and do it, because I know you ready. If I do
Right.
this, I'm setting myself up because I wasn't ready. You wanted all this, and you wanted to smash first.
Yeah.
Right. Right.
So
Now,
I'm the villain if I do it, and I don't have the same feelings you have.
And give you the
then you're
best
gonna
work.
think I'm weird if I don't do it.
man, listen.
Yeah, so I'm like,
So you're like, darn if you do, darn it, damn if you do, damn if you don't.
Right.
Right.
I had an experience where I wasn't pressed to smash, and she admitted after it went down. I told my homegirl, her homegirl knew, be like, I asked him, is this nigga gay? Like he act like he don't want it. I mean, cause
they really will throw that out. I'm like,
yeah, cause sometimes
not-
I don't want it, but if you
Yeah.
push me to proving that point, I'm finna, you know what I mean? But I'm
I
getting
had to-
better.
I
I'm
describe
better.
it like this. So if a woman bringing that to me, it's the same thing as a dude trying me in the street. If a dude walking on me and call me a BAN, I got one or two ways to react. I can handle my business or walk off. Same thing when a woman bring it to me. I either handle my business or walk off. It's the same thing.
I done got to my walkout stage now.
I walk off. My life peaceful. I'm good. You can keep all that. We good.
do y'all think, like, because I've heard this guy, he told me one time that he see those as red flags for him. Like if a woman is so pressed about sleeping with him, he'd be like, oh, like getting a gut
Probably,
feeling like, oh, something ain't right. Do y'all feel like that too, or do you
Yep.
be like, no, let me go hit it?
When you say
Depends.
pressed, like how pressed are we? Like
Depends.
it's the first night she ready to go. I'm just sitting here and she ready.
Even like on social media, like just in your DM saying she want to sleep with you.
I don't have
Like,
nobody
oh,
in my
She
DM.
tried. She
I
got
don't know
an
what that's like.
STD.
What is that like?
She got an STD.
your DMs.
Come on.
Ah!
Okay. You know what? I'm gonna pretend like I didn't hear that because
Or she trying to rock me.
My DMs stay lit.
I know you lying.
Boy, you went out there,
You get
boy.
DMs. I don't get DMs. Y'all be get DMs.
Because that don't happen
Hey,
like that.
I get 'em.
Unless you wanted them
I ain't gonna lie, I get them.
I
I
don't
get
get
them,
man. You
bro.
man.
Motherfucker told me,
No,
oh, you must be in a
you lying.
relationship.
I don't get them. Me?
Oh,
No,
I ain't.
not yeah, you.
I
are
promise
you?
nobody is in my DM.
I don't
Nobody
know,
in my
dog.
DM,
You
my
pretty
DM
suave now,
Oh,
dog. You
no.
suave fella
I
now.
promise
Yeah.
nobody. Everybody think I promise. Nope, at all. Nobody in the DM.
Oh,
He
yeah,
probably
my
just be
right.
ignoring them. He leave
Yeah.
them on unread.
Probably because
Unread, yep.
y'all, like you said, y'all women, y'all move a certain way that I probably not recognize. I need to pick up on the flirting that goes on, but nobody don't be in my DM.
I'm the same way, Doc. I don't.
Yeah.
Mine be dry.
Dry.
Yeah,
I
they
just
be
get
telling.
thumbs up or hearts, and that's it. Keep moving.
They be telling me the street miss me and all kind of stuff. But
Oh.
God, almighty. I'm
about to say
retired,
that,
bro.
Right.
I'm retired. God. Can't even do right. What for wrong? Like, and you know, like I always say, the part of the Bible where it say the flesh is weak, I am the flesh. But I'm stronger now. I'm stronger now.
Oh,
Too much going on out here.
with everything we talked about, even like with the blurred lines, the mental health aspects of it, because I know, Mike, you said it gives you anxiety sometimes, just the idea of dating. But because I'm the same way. I'm like so anxious. I know my friends get tired of me calling them 24/7, like, oh my God, he said, oh my God, what do you think? So, like, with that, I'll ask Doc, like, as a counselor, in your perspective and things you see when you're working with people, like how do you help them navigate through those feelings, like when they want to put themselves back out there and date, and like what do you typically tell them?
What, tell them when they want to date again?
Yeah, like how would you especially like I said in 2024, like how things is, I just feel like it's rough out here.
No, I tell them hard.
Like might as well be single.
It's hard. It ain't easy. But no, professional wise, or not even professional, even if anybody call and discusses about relationships, I mean, in the day you gotta put work in. It's really we can look at social media and other people's lives, but you still, at the end of the day, I feel like a lot of stuff is still that old school mentality that is missing. I feel like it's deteriorating when it comes to relationships. You know, you got to put the work in at the end of the day. Look at a lot of these older couples. I mean, I look at my parents, man, they still in it, man. You know, it's just like you have to know your partner. You got to know when to get on each other's nerves. You got to know when to give each other space, you know, and know that there's room for that people change in relationships. Nobody stay the same. We all grow. Something you think that I might like today, I might not like next week. You know, things change. You know, because I mean,
Right.
I think about a group text with just my daughter and her mom talking, and my daughter keep bringing up old stuff. Just for example, as far as their relationships, they might think, "Oh, well, you ate this or KFC." I'm like, I haven't had that in years, so since you was a baby. So like, so that's just like saying that it shows growth and people change each days and years you spend it with that person. So it just felt like, hey, you gotta still find something to do. You can't get complacent in your relationship, because then your partner, spouse, whatever you're doing, relationship, marriage, they might start. That's when you start having issues. Doors start cracking where you allow somebody else to come in because you're not. I'm gonna say spontaneous, but just trying to find something else to do sometimes. Because we can't all just like, oh, you know what? Hey, let's go sit here and watch Netflix this week. That's what we do this weekend. We're gonna go find something on Netflix. No, go for a walk. Find something else to do. Go to the mountains. Hit up whatever bowling. Just gotta do a bunch of different stuff, man. So
that type of stuff prevents you from killing your spouse too.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, because the good book say till death do us part. Damn it.
Right.
If I cheat on you, you better kill me, because you ain't going nowhere. Nope. We ain't got out here and told these lies in front of God. No, we could have stayed single. I'm sorry. Nah, I made a mistake, but it ain't over.
Doc, you made a valid point when you're saying, you evolve and your parents. I know, like my parents, they will be celebrating 50 years in a couple of days. And one thing that I do, and my mom, she has been open with me about their relationship, but she had to wait the right time to express it. You know what I'm saying? Because of where I was in life. So, because how you evolve is how you look at things. So, she shared, the good, the bad, the great things, the ugly things about, their marriage. And she said one of the things that keeps her going in the marriage is my dad is a jokester. Like, he'll make fun of anything. He'll go and he loves to laugh. He loves to crack jokes. Sometimes it's very embarrassing. But it makes her smile. Yeah. I love my dad, but it's just some of those jokes. I'm like, I just shake my head, like, okay, Dad, okay, let's just go. But it keeps her smiling, it keeps her laughing, it keeps her. It just keeps their dialogue and their dynamics exciting. I will say, my dad is a Netflixer. Like, every time I go to their house, he's like, I have a movie y'all want to let's watch. I'm like, okay. After we watch it, okay, I got another one. Let's go. So, but my mom, she's more of a sometimes she likes to do things. So, they have that common ground, but, they still evolve, even at being at 50 years. So, but I know, like, when it comes to when someone started dating, and in the clinical aspect, the first thought that came to my mind was, try not to overthink. Because, sometimes we think too much into something that's not really that deep. And then we start to compare, okay, well, this person said this, but then I remember my last relationship said it this way, but then I saw, how it ended. And so this person's going to treat me the same way. You know what I'm saying? So it's a lot of comparison.
Right.
Yeah. So, just not, try not to overthink it, and then just being present. And also, too, find ways to ground yourself. If you get to the point where you start to feel a little overwhelmed, or you started to think a lot, that's not really there, then find ways to ground yourself. If you got to step outside for a moment, talk to your friends. You don't have to talk to about all what's going on, but something just to kind of get that pressure off, so you can kind of continue.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. Talk to a therapist, talk to doc, Yeah.
Can I chime in on what she said?
Go ahead.
May 17th, my parents celebrated 50 years.
Oh wow.
And, and looking at me, you'll be like, oh, ain't no way you came from 50 years. You gotta think though, these people, we was like our generation, we was like the Huxtable kids. Our parents really had that, like, oh, my kid can be a doctor, a lawyer, whatever he want to be.
Mhm.
And a lot of us did. Some of us, we were like, hey, we ain't with all that. It's too much studying and all that type of stuff. But you got to think, these people married at 18, 19, 20, 21, 22 years old. You have to be insane to think they did everything right.
Right. Absolutely.
Barry White had an album called Stay in Power. Them people had stay in power. They had a goal set when they first started this journey, and they had it like, no matter what, this is what we want to accomplish. So we gonna have to do whatever we gotta do to accomplish it. You know what I'm saying? But I think we come to an era where the man got his own bag, the woman got his own bag, and everybody got their own attitudes. They got their own views, and we want the women's rights. We ain't getting this much money. We equal. It's just so much cloud in the process that we don't lost touch on how to love each other.
Right.
We so much in competition as men and women that we don't even want to love each other, and it only hurts the kids.
Right. Piggybacking off of what Mike said and Tiffany said, how your parents celebrating 50 years, and congratulations, because that's awesome. That's a big accomplishment too for your parents. But piggybacking off of that and compared to, like Mike was saying today, what do you all think is the reason why nowadays you really don't see people get past like 2 or 3 weeks dating or talking, even like the first date? Like, what do you think goes wrong? Because I know for me, I see a lot of people, and it really irks me, like when I get on social media and I see people talking about, oh, the man if he doesn't give me this money on the first date, if he don't tell me he's gonna pay this bill, then I see the men talking about the women and the makeup and the hair. And so, like, but what do you guys think, like, in your perspective? What do you think?
Bye.
Why I think they don't last that long? They not. Well, when the ladies talk about what they want up front, they clearly define what they want. It's up to me if I want to deal with that or not. Right. And if I'm not honest with myself and try to go along with it, that's my fault.
Right.
I like people to define what they're looking for. If that's what if you just trying to smash, say that. If you just want some bread, say that. Don't lie about it. If you just trying to vibe and have a little situation, say that. I don't think people really being honest about what they want.
Because sometimes when you're honest, not to cut you out, sometimes when you're honest, people go along with your agenda.
They will.
They just happy. They're just so happy that you gave them the opportunity to make a choice.
Right.
Yeah, that's how I look at. Define what you want and be for real about it. What you looking for?
Especially at our age too, because it's like I don't have time for that. Just tell me what it is, because I may want the same thing you want too. It just depends on where I'm in my life.
Right. And you won't just from that person. You might want the world from Sammy, but you might just want the block from Larry, because Larry is a block type of ninja.
Right. What do you think, Tiffany?
I mean, I agree with both Ellen and Mike. You got to be clear on what you're expecting, what you want. But also, I feel that the reason why, relationships or situation, in other terms that is out there that I don't know, does not last long is because of like comparisons, what they see on social media, just like unrealistic expectations. I know I hear all the time the 3 6s. If you don't look this way, oh, your shoes not looking right. So, I don't want to date you because you're not wearing the right type of shoes, or you're a little bit shorter than me or a little bit taller, even though if I wear heels, you're still tall, but that you're just not 6 feet. It's just unrealistic expectations that are out there. And then people will compare what they're in, or their situation, whatever it is, with social media. And sometimes people want to top it. I'm like, okay, now I want my relationship is better than yours, or, things like that. So I think it's a lot of that. And then also too, you have people that are not happy with themselves. You might have friends or people in your circle, and they're not happy with themselves. So then you go and talk to them like, hey, I just met this guy, or we're just talking for a few weeks and everything is going good. And then they plant seeds, and then those seeds will grow, and then you're going to start looking at that guy. He may be a great guy, but just based on what your friends or so-called friends are saying, you're going to start looking at him the way that they want you to look at him. So then now it doesn't last long.
Right. Well, I do want to touch on with September being Suicide Prevention Month and working in crisis, for a while, and seeing that. From my perspective, I see a lot of people who are having suicidal thoughts because of relationships. That's like a high percentage of things that I see personally. I don't know about you, Trey and Tiffany, like your perspective, but what we were saying about blurred lines with dating, we get what we're saying about the superficial expectations, especially like when people get into BBLs and women, I guess, feeling like, oh, I can't compete with that, or I need to compete with that, or the expectations of money, like the guy has to have X amount of money. Like I watch some podcast shows, and especially the dating ones, and they say, well, I want this man, he has to make $100,000 a year. Well, how many men make $100,000 a year, especially like us, like from our race and things like that? But
not on the books, they don't.
Right. And my point about this is, I feel like people don't really think about that mental health side of that and how all of that affects that person that they're dating in the relationship. And you see a lot of times people say, oh, that's a you problem. But I'm starting to feel like, no, that's a us problem.
That's
like,
an us problem.
Yeah, how do y'all feel about it? What do you think about that, Aya?
It's funny you said that, and it's going to kind of tie into what Tiffany was just saying. Like, the biggest detriment to our mental health, in my opinion, is the entertainment industry. We can't separate the two. We don't know the difference.
Right.
Like you were saying with the BBLs, real men like real booty meat. I'm sorry, I don't care if it's little, skinny, got craters in it, fat. It don't matter. If God gave it, Two Live Crew said, "Shake what your mama gave you." They didn't say shake what Dr. Miami gave you.
Go to the gym and build your booty.
If that's what you want, go do that. But I like all booties matter to me. And it's like, no, I'm just saying, think about real bad chick give a F about a ninja versus you're my latest, you're my greatest versus fire and desire. Like, our entertainment was really telling us how to love each other versus now it's telling us how to kill each other or compete with each other. Right. And we just don't know the difference between the two. And we let our kids be exposed to it. No other culture of music exposing their kids to such detriment but us. And we'd be like, oh, it's just music. Oh, it's just no, it's not. This shit is this stuff is psychological.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, I agree. I agree with Mike said. It's psychological, and like I say, just having a hard time just distinguishing the two. I know for me, I used to listen to a lot of trap music to the point when I take my dad to his doctor's appointments, I would listen to trap music on the way to his doctor's appointment. Like, he would just get used to it. He was like, you're not going to play your music today? I'm like, oh yeah, let's go play it. But then I started to realize that I started to condition myself, or started to think like, okay, what dating should be, or how I should look, or I started to realize that, and I'm like, whoa, wait a minute now. I'm supposed to be working on gaining self-confidence and radiating in beauty in that way, but not, having to feel like I have to compete, because I think Atlanta is just nothing but a competitive place anyway. Right. And so, having to listen to that music just bring more stress. So yeah, I just think, and that's cycle, that just can really mess up with someone's mental health to the point where their self-esteem, like you said, the BBLs, or not even just that, but if they feel like they cannot even reach those standards, they're going to find someone that they could talk, down upon, so then they can feel good about themselves. You know,
Right.
so it's a really bad cycle. But I'll let y'all know I don't listen to that much trap music anymore. So tolerance for that. Now my dad's missing it, so you know.
What do you think, Doc?
I mean, I don't think it's all social media. It is a percentage of it. I feel like a lot of people, if they're changing their bodies up, or a lot of things, you know, just or I mean, just linking people in relationships is also past history, past history from relationships, past child growing up, different things they probably experienced as a child that's still that they have it that's unresolved. That's why it goes back again statement at the end of the day. Sometimes you need therapy. I mean, to this day, you know, sometimes I can be talking to somebody. It sounds like you might need to catch you a little therapy before you get into a next relationship. They're gonna talk to somebody because you might be, you know, sometimes you need to talk to people. You know, like I'm definitely glad this day and age of 2024 that you know our community is finally slowly getting into therapy.
Right.
You know, even with couples therapy as far as dating and not waiting to have therapy when you're married because, you know, you can be dating and you still might need it so y'all can be on the same page because we could fall off and not be listening to our partner in the dating stage. So I just feel like a lot of times, like, and which is true. I feel like me personally, I feel like anybody that's doing all these changes, they probably got some type of scars, issues, that they're trying to hide and cover because some of them do. You think about it, you know. There's been some celebs came out and they'd be like, you know, because they found out it was just some previous reasons for why they felt like they just never looked good. It had nothing to do with social media or songs. Some song, you know, that was it. But I still say that it that is something that takes effect because again, some people are missing to me what me, Tiffany, and I say that we have the blueprint at home to look at and watch our parents showing that love and tell them, oh, you know, you look good today, beautiful or whatever, and they might not be looking good, but they saying that to boost their confidence,
Right.
you
Right.
know. But,
That what happened to me.
right,
My mama always told me I was him, and I believed it.
right, yeah.
And you know, I ain't gonna lie, I got rid of my therapist. I ain't like her because everything I expressed is, oh, you're the problem. I know that, woman.
That
I don't need you to tell me that. We need to figure out how to fix this shit. I don't need you to tell me I'm the
so you
problem.
want
I
to fix
know
the
that.
problem. I know the
Yeah.
problem.
Oh, I was like, nope.
Change it.
Better fit.
Yeah, I need somebody that look like me, that been through my experience.
Yeah. Right.
But
Can't tell
you
me.
know what? I think therapy, like when I meet somebody and I'm talking to them and they say they are going to a therapist, that's sexy to me. Like I actually like that. That's like a turn on for me.
Man, that's because you a damn therapist. Cut it out. Cut it out.
But it does. It's just like they care about their mental health. Like we may have a promising relationship. Maybe I'm reading too much into it. But
But
what
no,
do you think?
I feel you. Go ahead, my
Yeah.
bad. I'm sorry.
Okay.
What do you think for?
About what? What we talking about again?
About
She want to know what's sexy about going to a therapist.
About that damn thing.
Right, thank you.
I'm more reluctant to put you in the friend category. I'm like, yeah, you work that out.
Right.
I got my own shit I'm dealing with.
Right. I will say that I will look at that as a red flag too. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
I'm glad you're getting the help, but you ain't ready. So
Yeah.
you good.
And a lot of
I
times they
think,
are.
but
Yeah.
maybe it depends on what they're going for, though. You know, I feel like you can go for something, but not like depend on the level of what you're going to get for treatment for. Because again,
Right.
you got to think about it. They might have had a little something. They're trying to understand.
That's fine. Go ahead and do that.
And do you think they should work on that before they go into a relationship?
Yes.
Huh?
Yeah.
Oh,
And let's
man.
So it depends on where they're at.
People be
Because
80 years old before they get in a
I go
relationship.
back to therapy at times for tune-ups. Like
Yeah,
I
you
feel
go
like
back,
okay,
yeah.
maybe there's something else I need to additionally work on, but that doesn't mean I wouldn't be great in a relationship. But I feel like
But you said tune. The key word is tune-ups, though.
right.
You know, you have some people that you know go to therapy, you know, and they start a relationship, or they're interested in being or dating someone, and they're in therapy, and they are they've been there for so long, and have they worked things out, or they're working on something that they've been working on for a long time. I get it, but then I look at it as, well, how are you going to, how will you be able to be present in this situation, relationship, whatever we are, you know what I'm saying? Because you're working. That's the reason why I'm a firm believer, like, okay, you know, I want you to work that out. I want you to work on yourself, because you need more inner reflection, things like that. Then, you know, if you come to me and you say, okay, well, I've been in therapy, but I just wanted to tune up. Okay, we're going to talk about that. Well, what's the tune up about? But, you know, but then we can go from there. But I don't know. Because I feel like when you're dating someone and you're in therapy trying to work on whatever it may be, that can kind of cloud it as well, you know, your judgment. And the reason why I say that, because then you're going to make, some people will start focusing more on that person and not themselves. So that's the reason why I said, like, okay, well, you know, you can go work that out with your therapist. I'm very happy that you're in therapy. I'm not dismissing that at all. I think everyone should have a therapist at some point in their lives. But, you know, with that being said, I just feel that, you know, you just need to kind of focus on it and be in a space where when you are dating, you're able to be fully present with that person. So
do you think people who are in therapy shouldn't be dating? Is that what you mean? Or
you talk? Oh, on her.
Either or.
Go ahead.
Go, Tiffany.
That's what I'm saying. It just depends. So if you're okay, I'll give you an example. I have a friend that was dating someone, and they were in therapy, and they had some childhood issue, like they had like anger issues, but they're like, oh, I'm working on that, I'm in therapy. Okay, well, you're gonna continue to work on that to make sure, because you know, and the reason why I say that, because like if I'm talking to someone and I'm like, okay, well, you're in therapy for anger issues, first of all, how long you've been in therapy, are you to the point where you're codependent with it? I mean, I ask a lot of questions, but you know, I just look at it as just, how are you ready to date? You see what I'm saying? So, I mean, I'm not saying that no one should be dating in therapy, but me personally, I really do feel that, you know, if you are in therapy, I really do think that you need to your first priority is yourself. And then it's all about being present. If you're able to be present without fully, fully being present with that person and with yourself, then that's fine. But I do see a lot of, you know, have seen people, you know, that I talk to that have that hard time, you know. So they kind of put their own situations, things on their wayside, and then focus on that person.
I ain't gonna lie, you'll scare me, all them damn questions. Like, man, hey, that phone battle comes so out of me so fast, y'all to go on somewhere. I don't want to hear all that. Never mind.
I tell you, my original statement was, I just slide you more towards the friend category. I ain't say I ain't gonna talk to you. I'm just like, you know what? You work on that.
Right.
You cool. I ain't finna go too deep with you, but you need to work on yourself. You need to work on yourself first.
I got my own going on.
Yeah.
My last question of the night, Aya, how do you know when you're ready to date? How do you know personally?
Me?
Yeah.
I see her and I like her, and I probably don't want nobody else to have her.
But is there certain qualities, or you just like her, like you got a good feeling?
Well, the thing about me, I don't want to say it. I don't want to sound like what I'm gonna say it, but I'm gonna say it. I like my women slick, slow. Not slow as in like just dumb, but slow as in I don't know everything, and maybe I can learn something from you. You know what I mean? Just open up to learning something new or experiencing something new. But I don't want nobody to think they know everything. Because the people that think they know everything, they want to be all in your business. They really don't trust you, and they don't believe in privacy in a relationship. And that's a deal killer for me. If I can't have no privacy, we can't have no nothing.
Doc, how do you know when you're ready?
Just a I don't. I would just say just a connection that I probably started developing with that person. I can go into certain details of what I like to connect because just in case somebody think that's what's going to connect me by watching this show. Just know there's some connections that you got to have for me to just be like, you know what, I need to really hone in and focus in on this person, especially like you, like what I said, it's like, you know what, we'll after a while we'll start thinking like, you know what, let me holler at this person. I want nobody else to talk to them. Let me not miss out on this opportunity now while it's present, But yeah, just certain type of connection you got that I was just starting developing with that person. Like, okay, you know what, they on my wavelength and they kind of matching my energy with who I am
Right.
and what they do because like some of the things that was said earlier, it's not like I don't need you to be just like me, but like how I think something that Tiffany said, it's like I might need that push to be like, get up off the couch, let's go do something. I might be that person that will get into a slump and I want to go anywhere, but hey, you might be that person that likes to go somewhere all the time, and I might need that. And I, so not that's why I tell you air. I was like, I need somebody like me. No, you don't really need anybody like you. You do and you don't.
Right.
They have a good percentage of person can be like you, but you probably want somebody just a little different, something that can give you a little. Something a little different in a relationship. You don't want to be the same. That's boring to me.
Yin and yang. You know what I'm saying?
Right. A little bit, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Tiffany, how do you know when you're ready?
When I know when I'm ready is when I am say healed from the last, meaning like I'm not going to carry any baggage from the last relationship to the next. And then what I mean by that is, let's say we start talking and then certain things may have triggered me before, it doesn't trigger me at all. So that, and then also I know when I'm, ready is when I'm fully like, I don't know, like when when I'm ready to be vulnerable, or I don't know. I mean, yeah,
that make a lot of
sense.
That make a lot of sense.
Okay, because I'm trying to formulate my words, but just ready to be vulnerable and ready to just take risk, because you don't know what you're going to get into in the relationship, but you're okay with like, okay, you know what? I'm just going to be open with that person. I'm going to be me and not a pretend me or a presentation of myself.
Absolutely.
And so it's like being comfortable in who I am in my skin to know like, okay, you know what? I'm going to be vulnerable. I'm going to open up, and I know I might get hurt, but at the end of the day, it's all good, So
Right.
You be ready to piss in the wind.
Yep.
There's nothing wrong with it. That's a good feeling though.
Forrest, how do you know when you're ready to date?
Oh man, when I'm at peace with myself and my situation, and when when I understand what my purpose is and what I'm going after, that's it. It's mostly focused on me, and I don't go out and just intentionally like, yeah, I'm ready to date. Let me find so and so. I'm like, nah. When I got a level of peace,
Right.
and I actually have the room for it in my life.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's when I'm like, okay, I'm ready. Because you got to have room for it.
That's true. That's true.
Can I say one more thing?
Yeah, go ahead.
I think everybody, I always ask people that's married, like, how did you know? What made you feel like this was it? Because I say all the time, I'm not in a rush to find somebody that's going to potentially be laying next to me cold one day. However, it's just like, I feel like if you find a person that has no interest in changing who you are, but are willing to align themselves with who you are, and you know what I mean, just they in love with who you are, and they ain't got no interest in changing you. That's your one, and that is rare to me.
So how long should you be dating before you decide to talk about getting married though?
Shit, boy, that's what I struggle with. Cause in hindsight, it's probably been like 2 or 3 that I felt like, oh, I probably could have married her, but that shit over with.
My daughter's dad, he proposed to me in 6 months.
Damn.
So you think 6 months to a
Oh
year?
no, can
You
we
think 6
count
months to
that
a
though?
year? A guy
I'm just
knows
saying
he's gonna get married.
he
You think
knew
6 months
when
he
he
knows?
knew.
Can we count that?
White people got that jump out the window mentality though. They don't care. I mean, I ain't, but I'm
But
just
would
saying.
you wait 10 years for somebody to propose to you? Well,
Now
or
listen here,
for you to propose to them or somebody to propose
You
to you?
said it right the first time. It
man.
go both ways. The way that some of these women like to get out here on their knees.
I got a cousin. Listen to him. I got a cousin that graduated with you. His mom and dad ain't get married till he was about 24. I said, damn, boy, Uncle
Really?
Dog, Aunt Tough. I thought they was always married.
Oh goodness.
I said, Aunt Tough now.
Hmm.
That's hard. I ain't promoting that, but that's hard.
Yeah, that's tough. I don't think I could stay that long.
Well, no.
But some people stay for the kids though, but
Yeah.
they may have their reasons why they didn't want to commit.
I'm going
Maybe
to take the Bernie Mac approach. F them kids. Hey, man, y'all crazy. Y'all be provoking me to talk like this.
we talked about dating versus talking and blurred lines and the mental health aspects of relationships. Doc, go ahead and wrap us up for tonight.
I don't care what anybody say. Not to friend zone like some of us here, but just that for relationships, you got to be able to know yourself. And I think a lot of us said it's just that when it comes to dating to future long term relationship, if that's what some are looking for. You got to know yourself at some point. You got to know when you're ready to be out here, vulnerable or not, or just entertain. Because I mean, we are taking on other people. We putting our own energy out and taking in other people's energy into our own space. Just all the shared space. Now you have to start sharing with somebody because you might be with somebody that want to be in your space all the time. You might have to deal with somebody that doesn't want to be around you all the time. And it's just so much we have to learn when we're trying to learn a new person, new behavior from somebody else. So just like the main thing in relationship is got a open communication, like we said, honesty. I I personally find that very very useful since we've gotten older compared to the younger days where we feel like we can't be honest with that person. Just like now, just have to make sure you incorporate all that stuff, honesty, and just definitely knowing who you are, knowing what you're gonna what you like, what you're possibly what you're gonna deal with, and possibly what you know that you kind of can work. You got to be able to like compromise, with that person. Everything can't just be like my way or the highway. It's got to be like, what? Let me see and understand what this person's trying to say, because their communication skills might not be as great as the other person. So it's just, again, work. You got to put in a lot of work. You got to be able to have the energy for another job at the house.
Well, thank you all for sharing and thank you all for joining us. And don't forget to like and subscribe. And that's a wrap.
That's it.
Join us weekly on YouTube for the Unmute Me podcast show.